Welcome back, everybody, to the world's worst fishing. I'm Chris Jones, and man, nice refreshing yingling to start the video. This is going to be a fun one. Going to kind of do a couple of things here. I recently acquired a new hand injector. This bad boy right here, yeah, get it in focus. It's a 10 ouncer, and super impressed with it so far. I picked this one up from Quality Injector and More, and my old Bait Junkies injector, you know, my old standard, right? This one, it's just kind of gotten a little worn down. You know, I recently broke the pin, and it's just time to change, right? Time to get something else, and I've always wanted to try one of these. So yeah, this is a 10 ouncer. This one over here is a 9 ouncer. So it looks a lot bigger, but really, technically that's only 1 ounce difference, just a different shape. So far, really impressed. But I like the handle that used to come on these. It's just nice not to have both hands on the hot injector. I don't have to grab the actual tube itself. You know, after a couple of rounds, you know, these get really hot, and the less hands you have to touch it with, I just think that's ultimately better, and it's a little more comfortable. I feel like I have more control with it. So we're going to attempt to modify this and put a little handle on it. I'm not good at like handyman machining stuff or things like that, but I think I can at least do this. It's going to be a very rough, real basic handle idea, and hopefully it works. So let's get started on that. The other part of the video, I think I'm going to try an interesting hand pour. So stay tuned. Okay, so here's the Mondo Injector, okay? That's like a half-gallon deal right there. It's amazing how much plastic you can fit in that. But I saw the way that they did their handle here. They took it just looks like a piece of steel, and I'm sure they probably did this weld themselves, but they basically just welded a big bolt to it. If I can get it undone. Yeah. You can literally see the old shape of the bolt, right? They literally just welded a bolt to it and found a piece of plastic, you know, probably a piece of plumbing supply or something like that, that screws down. So I can actually, in an ejector this heavy, you almost need this. It's literally a handle. It's a foregrip. And I was like, okay, I can do a foregrip perhaps on the new one. Now if I look at the old Bait Junkies, they've actually affixed, you know, this is like an aluminum, I don't even know what you technically classify this is, but it's just a piece of aluminum that fits over the top there, and they've just bolted it in. Okay, so it's not straight out like this handle is. Completely two different handle ideas, both very comfortable. So I was like, okay, I can find a piece sort of like this at the plumbing supply at the, you know, local Lowe's or Home Depot. So I literally have an elbow. Pretty sure that's what this is called, right? An elbow brace. You know, it's for mounting shelves or just whatever. And I'm thinking I can affix that to the side of this injector, okay, and have a handle using the same exact idea. Some of these hose clamps. So what we're going to do real quick is we're going to hose clamp this to the side of this injector. It's not as pretty as that. It's certainly not as that. It's a real rough idea, real basic. I'm sure somebody with any sort of machining savvy whatsoever could do a much better job. But if this works, I'm going to stick with it. Real easy modification. And, you know, once you've had an injector for so many years with a handle, it's hard to want to use one without a handle. So we're going to try that out and see what we get. Alright, so I want it kind of in line with the top there. You know, that way my hose clamps are down away from where I'm going to be holding it, and the handle's kind of up here towards the top. So basically just going to get my first hose clamp on here and just kind of tighten it down just a little bit to where we can at least put this thing sort of in place, in position. And yeah, just need to get this thing started just a little bit. You know what? It'll probably be easier for me just to start it right here. Just in my hand a little bit. Try not to get it too small. Once you get it too small, that's it. That's why I bought extras. So, let's see. Yeah. Something like that. Alright. But I want to do it, I want to actually tighten it down opposite side from there. That way that sits real flush with it and tightens it up real well. So we're just going to continue to tighten till it's somewhat snug. Okay, yeah, that's somewhat snug. Let's see, let me change up camera angles here real quick. Alright, yeah, I wanted to get just a little bit further zoomed out. Yeah, that's still, this one still has a ways to go as well, so we're just gonna tighten that one up a bit. Okay, can still actually need to get it over that. I don't want to be stupid here. Actually, I want to get them going the same way. Okay, and we'll just tighten it down a smidge here. It does not like to stay on there. Alright, not quite. A little more. Little more. Oh, even more. Alright. So that's, obviously I would do my best to clip those off, but that, oh yeah, that's already nice. And it's not even tightened. So, I guess what I'm going to do now is just make sure that that's kind of where I want it to be height-wise. And make sure that that's kind of centered up there. It's probably never going to be perfect, of course, but I'll probably slide this down a bit. Okay. And then probably start hand tightening. I don't want to go too fast with the drill there. Okay, hand tighten this one a bit. It's amazing how well this is already holding. Yeah. Oh, y'all, there's nothing wrong with this. It's ugly, but it's what I want. Heck yeah. Alright, so we're going to tighten this up a bit. Now we're really going to crank down on it. That way we don't get any unnecessary slippage or moving, anything like that. Oop. Oh, you guys. Simple and effective. I'm actually quite happy with this. It's ugly as sin, but that's an injection machine now. Alright, now we're going to inject a couple of frog molds with this. I've got the camera wide angle way back so that you can see, hopefully, the whole injection process. Let's go. Felt really good. Yeah, so let's get this off here. Spit the plug out. Yeah. Very nice. Yep. Not a lot of little pieces of plastic left in there. Nice tight fit. You know, if the injector is a little loose, you get a lot of little gummies in there. Yeah, that one right there did super well. So yeah, these frogs should look pretty cool. Okay, let's see how we did. This is my custom frog mold that I designed years ago. I call it the Florida frog. Oh yeah. Look at that, you guys. Yep. And being that that's a 10-ounce injector, it holds plenty of plastic to fill these two molds here. Because I mean, these are, you know, any frog mold eats a lot of plastic, and you have to have a lot of plastic in your injector. So, you know, the 9-ounce that I had before was enough to fill this, but it was not enough to fill all four. So I have 4 stickworm molds. It's not quite enough to fill all 4 of those. So I'm hoping that the 10-ounce will be enough. And if not, I'll try a 12-ouncer or 11-ouncer. Yeah. Really cool. Super happy with that. And yeah, it's nice to have another handled injector at my disposal. Okay, so for the last few months we've been dealing with the virus and everything. But apparently there's something much more terrifying happening in the world. I'm talking, of course, about murder hornets. So a murder hornet is basically a giant wasp, a giant hornet, the size of a, what are those little birds? Hummingbirds? Yeah, the little tiny ones. Their wings go so fast you can't even see it. Well, serious or not serious, I don't actually know if murder hornets are an actual threat. You never know what to believe these days, but as soon as I saw it, I said, it's got to be a swim bait color. So we're going to attempt to hand pour a murder hornet swim bait pattern. You know, it's an orange and black looking kind of thing. It kind of looks like those old big fire ants that we used to have down here. They'd be orange with black stripes. Yeah, they were pretty scary. In fact, I don't actually know what they're called, but all I know is I need a haircut and a shave, and we're going to try to pour some murder hornet hand pours in the 4-inch Angling AI open pour. Let's get started. And just real quick, let's look at our target here. Yeah, what an ugly, ugly thing. So I'm going to try to pour some black stripes down the sides, similar to, let me grab it, kind of similar to, see how this, I call this one fire perch. You've got the black stripes on that. So, you know, that kind of already is a little murder hornet-ish itself. So that's what we're going to try and do. Yeah, so I'm thinking I can just try to skin pour. Actually, you know what? That one's in the wrong spot. Oops. Yeah, they're pretty much all in the tail back, and then there's a big... Oh, see? Yeah, golly. All right, let me see if I can get this one over here. Like, I have to get into a rhythm doing this kind of thing. It's like it has to be so precise. Yeah, see, that's not working at all. All right, let me try this again. Okay. This murder hornet is going to murder my hand pouring here. Okay, yeah. Here's one stripe. 50 more to go. See if we can get another one down here. Just pour a little bit there. Let it droop down. This is literally probably what it's going to take. Okay. And I hate it when the plastic gunks up right there on the spout. That makes this very hard. A little bit of plastic there, let it run down. So yeah, that's kind of the making of it. So because if I look at that, most of those black stripes are kind of in the back side, and then you'll see this black spot up at the head. So I'm basically just going to pour a big black splotch up here, and then we'll basically pour the whole thing orange. Yeah, you know what? That's actually not going to look too bad. Let's try and do this black splotch between, sort of right behind the gill plate, maybe. Trying to cover the whole bait top to bottom there. Something like that, but it almost think it needs to be thicker. Yeah. What do you guys think? That might could work. So I had to go back and thicken up the black even more, and let me tell you, just pouring those 2 molds was a chore. And I still need to do my black splotches in the heads, but I figured I'd go ahead and get the stripes poured first, because it is very, very, very delicate work. So, like, if you have something funny like stuck in your head and you try to pour and you're giggling, you can't do it. So, got to clear my head, and hopefully I can get these last 2 molds poured. Yeah, this is quite a challenge. These murder hornets are tough cookies. Okay, so I've got all of these striped, so to speak, and now we're just gonna try and pour this little black splotch. It's just kind of there. Yeah, so basically once I fill this in, once I fill that in with our yellow orange, you know, it'll kind of have, what in the world? It'll kind of have the color profile of it, hopefully. So we've got our stripes. Yeah, I don't know, that's about as good as I can do it, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and splotch the rest of these, I guess. So let's get this one going. Okay. Can probably just move it around, let it cover top to bottom. Yeah. Alright. We're gonna go with that. Okay, mold's on the griddle and the plastic is heating up. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna take dead on orange and we're gonna try this Yukon color there. This is one of the Paragon colors. It'll give it a pearlish effect to it. And we're gonna mix those 2 together and hopefully get a accurate shade of orange to pour these with. And we're gonna finish them off with some little 6mm black eyes to kind of complement the black stripe theme, and I think it's gonna look cool. Okay, so one last time. Yeah, it's more yellow than I think it is, if that makes any sense. So we're just gonna start with a couple drops of this orange here. Okay, dead on colors are very concentrated, so you don't need much to get the effect. And let's try some of this yellow Paragon there. I might have to add a brightening agent like a chartreuse or something to really brighten it up if this doesn't give me what I want. That's actually really pretty. Don't think it needs to be brighter. I think it, well, seeing that through the lens here, it's actually more orange on my phone in person. Because if you look at it there, that almost looks straight yellow. It's actually not. So I'll quit showing you guys that because that's gonna make it look like we're not even close when actually we're pretty close. Okay, Hornet orange. Definitely never made this color. Let's see. Boy, that is really, really close. I might add a little bit more of this. I'll meet you guys back when I think I've got it right. Alright, I think I got it. It's orange and kind of yellowish gold at the same time, which is pretty much what I wanted. So we're just going to take it nice and slow and try to pour a clean mold here. These molds are very hot, so I'm hoping that as such, I can get a clean pour. I'm not getting a clean pour. Actually, all those skins are like in the way of the flow of plastic, all those stripes, so it's stopping it from flowing as nicely as it could, but that's okay. Top that off just a smidge more, and we'll try this next one here. See how we can get, oops. See how we can get that one. Yeah, it's like hesitating to get all the way through that narrow valley into the tail, but we're flowing good now. We're flowing good. Slow and steady. I don't mind a little cleanup. As long as the color looks good, right? Alright. Next. Next, next, next. Let it settle in. Let it even out. Okay. It's looking pretty good there. And last but not least, here's one of the slotted ones. Got to get this mold really hot so that all of those little skins and black stripes really bond and melt into the body of the bait. That way there's no cold cracks, and it just, that way it won't look sloppy. That's why we pour on the heat griddle anyway. Yeah, we've been busy on the hand pours, so yeah, I'm really loving that perch. A lot of hyper shift, color shift stuff. I don't even know what the heck that is, but it's kind of cool. Yeah, lots of cool stuff. Some trout over there. I shot these jerk baits yesterday. It's a real see-through color shift, sort of like my disco shad color. So, yep, been doing a lot of cool stuff. We're waiting on these to cool down. What I figured out is if I have a fan on high running a lot of air over the surface, it'll go ahead and set the tops up, and then you can actually unclamp them, separate the molds, because whenever you separate the molds, they really start letting heat out. Right now you have one heat source touching another heat source, another. Once you can unclamp them and separate them, they'll cool down a lot quicker. Okay, drum roll please. Let's see if this pattern even worked. Hey! You know, once I get all that crap cleaned up, that's not half bad. Yeah. It also looks like Tiger from Tiger King. Or Cheetos. Look at that. Not a single cold crack on it. I was really hoping for that. Sometimes you never know if you need to heat it longer or if it got hot enough to melt everything, but yeah, that actually worked really well. That is completely silly. Okay, you can see the black, so I was worried I wasn't going to get things hot enough. Got them a little slightly hot. You can see the black kind of bled out there in the tails. But yeah, you know, that's it. So a fish would either think this is a goldfish or a tiger, but today they are murder hornets. So we're just going to add a little dab of Loctite gel right there in the eyes, and we're going to take just some of these straight black eyes, black dots. And it's fun using those eyes because you don't have to line it up perfectly, because it doesn't have a pupil that's directional. Just pop it in there and you're good. Okay, our Tiger King murder hornets. Kind of an interesting concept. So, a fun challenge to pour. It's, you know, certainly not like a great color or anything like that. It's no fire perch. That actually looks like something with purpose, but kind of a fun thing with all the talk about these murder hornets. So yeah, hopefully bass eat tigers and hornets. Well, okay guys, that's gonna wrap this video up. Hope y'all enjoyed. Sort of a well, totally a novelty actual pour, but you know, the injector thing, you know, if you've always kind of thought, I'd like to have an injector with the handle on it, you know, you can do what I did and just do it really simple, or maybe with a little bit of time and effort and ingenuity, you could probably mod your injectors at home to have really comfortable handles. And once you do that, it's like you've seen heaven, man. You'll never want to use one without it. So I'm kind of curious to see if anybody does that now, because I would like some better ideas than what I did. You know, I just ran up to the hardware store and got it all, you know, at once. And but you know, somebody else will always think of a better idea than me for that. So, but I'm about to come out here and check out the garden. So with that said, I'll let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and we'll catch you next time.